With the rise in numbers of healthy African startups and the opportunities offered by the Continental Free Trade Agreement in trade and investment, Africa more than ever needs a skilled workforce. But where and how to train the continent's engineers? This is a key question, including for European universities, which no longer hesitate to multiply partnerships with African campuses. In Douala, Cameroon, our correspondent Maxime Farrell went to meet these young engineers of tomorrow who are determined to participate in the renewable energy revolution. Take a look. Kevin, a young engineering student majoring in general engineering in the international and innovation field, has been striving to tackle hunger in his country, Cameroon mainly, and also in Africa more generally. He and his classmate students at the UCAC Institute, the Catholic University of Central Africa, and the ICAM, group of French engineering schools, have just designed a drone with the capacity to boost the development of agriculture and hopefully do more.
Agribusiness is part of the culture of Cameroon today. It is the backbone of our economy, and using rural materials does not allow us to be productive and competitive in the market. Using a drone, for example, is a solution to bring more efficiency. We also thought that the drone would be suitable for taking pictures in different situations in case of disasters or other problems, a piece of equipment that can go where a man cannot and provide us a global picture of the situation.
With at least 905 students spread over the Douala campus in Cameroon and Pointe-Noire in Congo for the past 21 years, the UCAC-ICAM Institute, with the support of numerous partners in the CIMAC zone and the Democratic Republic of Congo, has been providing students with 5 years of professional training as general engineers who can intervene in most areas. Kevin, like Maela, a student in the same school specializing in process engineering, intend to fight against global warming at the origin of the climatic changes and upheavals that led to floods or droughts in Africa. For these young engineers, renewable energy, for example, can be part of the solution.
I'm passionate about energy and in particular renewable energy, and the idea of creating a startup in this field which will help to exploit the hydrographic power of our country more globally, of the sub-region and of the continent is something I'm looking forward to and which I will be proud of tomorrow.
The world today is subject to many constraints, whether climatic or environmental. All this is due to global warming and the abusive use of fossil fuels. So our solutions are part of the ecological transition from fossil fuels to green energy. Why do we do this? To reduce our environmental impact, to reduce our CO2 production, to limit the greenhouse effect, and to be part of a sustainable development framework. Brian is another young engineer with big ambitions who works on cybersecurity. He plans to work on protecting data and information vital to protect the country's security.
It is a question, especially in African context, of being able to secure our information here and not just exporting it abroad to secure it. We can do it ourselves here. What I want to bring is, first of all, my expertise to show that all these banks, which are here in Africa, can test the equipment. For example, we can just easily do it here locally without necessarily bringing in foreign consultants or deploying the application to the foreign services to test it. My objective is to set up a protocol made by us Africans to encrypt information, better so that a third party cannot read the communication.
The acquisition and integration of knowledge and skills also relies on the quality of grassroots training.
We teach our students to learn continuously. We give them the tools to be in a long life learning cycle, upskilling and moving up the ladder, particularly through active learning in the skill-based and project-based approaches. This allows them to be relatively autonomous in their learning processes, autonomous in their approach to problems and autonomous in resolving situations. We want our engineers to have the capacity to deploy themselves in all different disciplines, industrial, scientific and even technical. We must instill in our engineer the ability to be up-to-date in terms of hindsight on society and the need to which they can provide solutions and produce value.
Beyond the genius, the will and the determination sometimes inspired by the models, these young engineers will need more to impact the development of African countries efficiently.
The different political systems should be designed in such a way as to allow young people like us to become entrepreneurs. But we also need the confidence of the various financiers and banks to access adequate funding and confidence to promote our abilities. Because among ourselves, we know that we are competent and capable of doing and making Africa proud. But for that to happen, we need to be given the means, we need to be given the opportunity, and we need to be trusted.
90% of the young engineers trained at this school are successfully integrated into the professional world. The UCAC ICAM Institute does not content itself with only growing its African Leadership Factory, but also offers non-compulsory exchange semesters from the 4th year onwards in the ICAM France sites or their partner universities worldwide. These young engineers generally work in their home countries. Some of them continue with a specialized master's or MBA to develop a specific skill abroad before returning home, while a small number prefer to start their professional career internationally.